Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is February 11th, and right now we are looking at the infrared satellite imagery. The Hawaiian Islands are right here. There's the state of California. This storm system back here probably has eyes on central and northern California as we go through the upcoming week, and then the jet extension will be moving across the Pacific Ocean and try to bring the storm train back into the state of California and much of the southwest as we go on into the weekend and into the following week. We're going to look at some of those details coming up here. I want to caution everybody on getting too caught up in things just yet, because we don't know if these are going to be very dynamic, potent atmospheric rivers, or they're going to be more progressive systems or on the weaker side. We're just not quite sure of that yet. That's what we're trying to figure out here as we go day by day. Now, taking a look at the North American model, still some gusty winds out there. You can see some offshore component here across Southern California, some of the Bay Area, and then this gradient relaxes a bit here as we go through this afternoon and tonight, but it continues on into tomorrow morning a little bit here on through the day tomorrow. A little bit of offshore component, but you can see the winds will be lightening up. And then our eyes turn out to the Pacific Ocean here as the storm system is going to try to move into Northern California as we go on in through Wednesday. More on that here in a bit. But if you want a nice, affordable home weather station, it makes it very fun to watch these weather systems roll in when they come across your house. You get to look at all this data in real time on your smartphone, anywhere you are. Highly recommend this one. Click on that link down below to save 10% off. Again, that smartphone app is great. 3-second updates, and you can see wherever you go. Click on those graphs to see all kinds of cool data. Now, taking a look at the European model. This is yesterday afternoon's run here. We're looking at 39,000 feet. Japan to the far left. There's the Hawaiian Islands. There's the state of California. If we put this into motion, you can kind of see why we're getting the break here, a little bit of ridging, and then this nasty jet extension just comes racing across the Pacific Ocean, and it's going to be pointed somewhere here at the west coast, but we still don't know how this is going to line up just yet. But as you can see, we've been playing this through the last few days, and it's been showing this pretty persistent, powerful jet stream racing across north of Hawaii and pointed at Southern California. Now, taking a look at the European as of yesterday afternoon, let's see what this would mean as far as what kind of storm systems we would get. So here we go as we go through the day Wednesday. You see some of that rain coming on by Wednesday afternoon, maybe moderate times for some of the Bay Area, propagating down the Sierra Nevada on yesterday afternoon's European model run there, and maybe even a light precip shot for some of the higher terrain in Southern California. But that's not the big stuff. The big stuff is back here as we go through Friday. You can see that atmospheric river. Look to things here as we go through about Friday afternoon. There's Friday night. Some pretty heavy rainfall showing up for the Bay Area and the Central Coast. Eventually makes its way down towards Southern California as we get to Saturday night. So this is just one possibility, one version of things that could be occurring. As you can see, the European as of yesterday afternoon, pretty darn right active and throwing some haymakers here at the state of California as we go on through the extended forecast. However, not all models are in agreement, especially the GFS. And if we look at this morning's run versus yesterday afternoon's, again, there's the state of California, the Hawaiian Islands is the bottom left of both of these graphics. Put it into motion, and you can see the system start to roll in towards Wednesday, getting some better model agreement that we are going to get some moderate rain in the Bay Area, some of the central northern Sierra Nevada getting some snowfall as well. So kind of a nice little treat there. And then you can see the next system rolling in here. And again, we got pretty good model agreement and some type of a system hitting as we go on in through Friday night, on in through the day Saturday. Just how strong will it be? You can see the GFS backed off this morning versus what it had yesterday. That's probably what's going to be the case over the next few days as these models bounce back and forth. But you can still see even this would be quite a dynamic system as it continues to pour precipitation back into the state of California. But yesterday afternoon's was clearly stronger, as you can see. And then this one kind of hangs out for a while as well, all the way on into the following week. So the GFS kind of all over the place, kind of to be expected. Let's see what the Canadian model says. And will it agree with more with the European or with the GFS? Let's take a look. We put that into motion. There goes Wednesday's system, getting some pretty good agreement with that, bringing some moderate rain to the Bay Area, Northern California, hopefully bringing some snow to the Sierra Nevada. And then we get the bigger and badder stuff here as we go on into Friday night into Saturday. You can see the atmospheric river look to it here on the Canadian model as we start to bring some of that deeper moisture. And this is kind of a slow moving, nasty scenario here on the Canadian, more in line with the European, but it looks bring some heavy rounds of rainfall to Southern California as well, all the way on in through next week here. But again, we take this with a grain of salt. We're just kind of trying to see what the models are saying. And if we look at the national blend of models, total precipitation in inches, And let's put this into motion. There goes Wednesday's system here. Some rainfall for the Bay Area, makes it down into the central Sierra Nevada a bit. And then we start to get the bigger systems in here as we go through this next upcoming weekend. And you can see this precipitation amounts as we go on in towards Monday morning of the following week start to become quite heavy for some areas. And if we scroll off into the future here towards the 10-day time frame, now those are some pretty big precipitation amounts. This is not a cherry-picked ensemble run. This is total precipitation in inches on the National Blended Models here. So yeah, it's still looking quite active coming up here. We just not quite sure how dynamic these systems are going to be, and we're going to be trying to figure that out here over the next few days. Looking at the total snow as well. Here we go. Let's look at Wednesday night system here. It's going to be rolling in here and start to bring some snow. Thumbs up for that. That's not bad. We'll definitely take that. And then as we go through the weekend, another nice shot of snowfall. And then as we go on in the following week, this would be a nice round of snowfall for the higher terrain of even Northern California and the Sierra Nevada through the 10-day period. Plenty of time to look at that though. Now, again, a wider look at things here at 18,000 feet. Hawaiian Islands is the center of this graphic, and you can see that California is right there. And we're looking at last night's run versus yesterday afternoon. So again, we're looking at that jet stream racing across Pacific Ocean. And something interesting that happens here during El Nino years is you get the combination. This is the polar jet stream here. You can kind of see it all the way up into Alaska and across Canada and back down into the lower 48. And this is the subtropical jet stream down there. But look at how they start to merge towards the end of the run there. And that's kind of a classic El Nino signature, and it can really supercharge some of this activity back into the state of California. Definite El Nino signature here to that. And so if we look at the 6 to 10 day, we've been looking at this for several days now. The above average still remains all the way through February 20th, 8 to 14 day. Nothing has changed there. The risk of heavy precipitation is there as well. I just don't want anybody to get too hopped up or hyped up over this information just yet. It doesn't mean we're just going to get dynamic flooding for sure. That is still a long ways off before we start making that call. This is the risk of heavy snow also. You can kind of see they still have that high across some of the Sierra Nevada here, but we need to get a little bit closer before we start making definitive statements about what is coming, and they still have the risk of high winds up. Now, if we look at percent of average precipitation so far for the month of February, you can clearly see that California is doing quite well, except some very northern portions of California there. But look at places like Death Valley out and towards Nevada, over 800% the normal precipitation so far. And zooming in a bit here, you can kind of see again, California maybe a little bit of a deficit for some areas, but much of the state did pretty darn well with that last round. And this is since the water year started October 1st. And you can see there are a lot of areas that are still below average. So we need some more, and especially you could use some more mountain snow across the Sierra Nevada, still below average for this time of year for the snow water equivalent. And this is looking at that here. We're trying to creep our way back up to the 50% line, which is normal. So that's a good thing. And hopefully we can get closer to it here as we go on into the next 10 days to 2-week time frame. And of course, the reservoirs across the state are doing exceptionally well. All of them are a historical average or above. The San Luis, there's no runoff actively going in there. I think that's human controlled. So all the other reservoirs are doing quite well. Drought monitor, again, state of California is drought free. There are some abnormally dry areas here, but that's not to be concerned about. A little bit of moderate across some of Oregon. A little bit worse conditions across Arizona and New Mexico as well. So hopefully some of these systems can come through and bring some beneficial rainfall on in through some of the southwest as well. So anyway, yeah, we'll continue to break this down day by day. As you can see with weather models that look out so far, the weather models have gotten pretty good here over the last, decade to 20 years. So we can look out into the future and we know the signal is coming. We just don't want to get caught up in the details too much yet, because this could easily target places north to Southern California and maybe just have one strong system move through there, or there could be multiple strong systems moving through Southern California. So, you just got to check back daily. And the closer we get, the more confidence we will have in these scenarios upcoming here. So caution on the hype here a little bit. You guys are seeing all that stuff coming across the internet, probably on social media and whatnot. So just kind of take it day at a time here. Just prepare. Use this break that we have in the weather to clean things up and get everything organized. And we'll see what the next round brings. So anyway, we will do this again tomorrow. Hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys then.